Hi there everyone, welcome to Tales in Text and I'm your host Nisha. In today's video we're going to be doing some art journaling and regular journaling. So if you're interested, grab a book and grab an oracle deck or a postcard set and join me. Or if you just like to see what I'm doing, then you can just grab a drink or something to eat and just sit back and enjoy. So today what we're doing is I'm going to be taking my Anatomicum postcards and I'm going to be pasting them in this journal and doing some artwork. Now, you might have remembered that I've also done a flip through of the Anatomicum postcard deck. I will link that down below. It's a 50 card deck featuring different parts of the body. I'm using a journal as well, and this is basically the Neora journal. Neora is a new brand that I discovered, and I love the quality of the journals they have. It's a hardbound A5 journal with vegan leather cover, and it comes in almost 12 to 15 different colors and different rulings, so it's absolutely beautiful. There's an elastic band on top to keep your entire journal together, so even if you junk journal, everything's going to be in place. It's 100 GSM paper. The quality of the paper is really good. It's got rounded edges, and I've chosen the plain ruling because I thought it'll be best for my artwork. And although this isn't an art journal, I think the quality of the paper holds up really well. As you can see, the inside part of the journal is just so colorful and so beautiful, matching the outer cover. Plus, they've got a pouch attached at the end where you can store your currency, your credit cards, and more. And if you'd like to purchase this journal, I have a 5% off link in my description box, so you can use that link or my code below. In addition to just these two, I'm also using, that is the postcards and the journal, I'm also using a scotch, the glue stick. So all you need is a simple glue stick, and you also need a pen. I'm sticking to a simple blue ballpoint pen, but you can use any colored pen you want or any sort of stickers. Speaking of stickers, Neora also comes with stickers of its own. This long sticker is basically for the spine, so you have to just peel it off and stick it to the spine, and voila, you can just get started. And then there are these square stickers that comes with both ruled and unruled, which you can just put up on the face of the notebook. So we're going to be sticking the stickers as well. So now, without further delays, let's get right into it. I am going to start with my long spine sticker, and I'm just going to peel it off now and just paste it on my spine. I've done this with the A6 journal as well, and I had actually made the mistake of pasting my sticker first and then writing on the sticker on the book. That just made it look very awful because the space wasn't there, to write it. So I'm just going to write on the sticker directly right now, and I'm going to be naming the book. So the spine sticker is usually where I name the purpose of the book. And so for me, this is basically a postcard art journal where I'm also going to be writing some affirmations, some quotes of my own that I've created. And it could be just general oracle information. So I'm going to be writing that down now. And it's also easier to write it beforehand because, you can make sure that it's in the correct way. There are no spelling mistakes. There are no, design mistakes or anything. You can fix things, and once you just write it, you can easily just peel it off and stick it right on. What I really liked was that the sticker came off super easy, and it was just a pleasure to use. One thing that I noticed is that not a lot of journals get these stickers, so I was really appreciative of having this, especially because I've got so many journals that I actually bought from them recently that I need these stickers to make sure that I know what book is what. So I'm just pasting it on now, and I'm just leaving some space on either side of the book so that this kind of comes sort of in the middle as I can get it, as central to the spine. In my A6 journal, I had actually overshot and had to remove the sticker and re-put it a second time, but this one seems to have come out really well. All right, so now that the spine sticker is done, I think we can move on to the next sticker, and let's see how that will go. So now we have the square sticker, which I'm going to be pasting on either the front or the back of the journal. I would prefer personally to paste the sticker on the back of the journal because I just love how elegant the front of the journal looks, and I really don't want to ruin the look by putting a clunky ass sticker on the face of the journal. So what I'm doing is, I did this with my A6 as well, and I'm going to be putting this sticker right at the back because whenever I pick up my journal, I have a tendency to look both front and back. And so for me, it would be easy to know what this journal is about, or even if, for example, you use this journal or multiple people have journals at home, you can actually do this, and that way you'll know whose journal it is. So I'm just at the back, I'm going to be writing my name, because in the front, that is the spine sticker, we did write the name of the book and what it was for. But here I'm going to be writing my name because in case it's not possible that I'm going to be taking this book outside anywhere, because this is mostly for personal use. But if I do take it out, I want people to know whose book it is, so that they can return it to me in case I forget it and I leave it somewhere. So I'm just gonna write as this is my book, and this is what it's for. So I think it's looking pretty cool, and it's not defacing the front face of the journal. So now let's just get right into the journaling. As you can see, I've already started writing over here, and this particular page actually encapsulates what my idea and goal for this particular journal is. As you can see, I've written my body is a temporal temple, and so to me, this basically represents that temporal is being corporeal, being worldly, being earthy, and temple is something for sacred. So although my body is something of an earthly being, there's a lot of sacred spiritual information and spiritual knowledge and wisdom that I can learn from it. And I've also written about memento mori and memento vivere, which basically means I must remember that I must die someday, and therefore I must remember that I must live. And so to me, this book will remind me to focus on the wisdom that I learned from my body and to use it to live the best possible life. And now again, I've actually taken a photocopy of the postcards front box cover, as you can see, along with some postcards, and I've actually printed that out so that I can tell myself, and this is basically what this journal is about. And I've written a quote that I've created, which is, our bodies are our greatest source of wisdom, which I've always believed that. And whether it is for my cartomancy practice, or just for my spiritual journaling, or for my magical practice, or just scientific journaling, I think this quote really holds true for all of that. And I intend to make this journal as both a postcard art and also a quotes page where I write quotes of my own. And as you can see, I've actually pasted the postcard here, and I've also written something over here. Basically, the first line that you can see over here is the name of the postcard. And if you remember, in the flip through of the postcards, the name of the postcard was at the back of the postcard. And so I wanted to retain that name, and I've also wanted to write something that what I felt about that particular postcard. Now, as you can see, I've kept the frontal view on one side, and I've written about what this particular frontal view makes me feel. And in this case, for me, this particular frontal view of the skeleton talks to me about how I can face adversity, and how, just like my skeleton, which is so strong and so put together, no matter what comes my way, I will be able to handle it. Now, similarly, there's the backside of the the rear view of the skeleton as well. And I wanted to take a different approach when actually writing about this. And so I wanted to talk about how when your back is turned towards something, when unanticipated changes comes in, then no matter what happens, even if it's the unknown, even if it's so scary, it's perfectly okay, because I have the skills that I need to go through life and succeed. I have the skills I need to brave the storm. And no matter how broken and lost and hopeless I feel, just like my bones, I can put myself together and I can, face victory. Now, the next card that I worked on was the facial muscles. And again, as you can see, I've written the name facial muscles. I've pasted the postcard, and I've written about the facial muscles. And to me, facial muscles represent our emotions and how we express them, because our muscles work together to express emotions on our face. And personally, for me, I've been someone who struggles with expressing her emotions, and I'm quite reserved that way. And to me, this card was a reminder about how I will unabashedly and unashamedly express my emotions in their complete depth and diversity. So now that you've seen how I usually go about with this art journaling and postcard journaling and postcard writing, I thought, we could do one of these together on camera. So all you're going to need is a glue stick, a pen, your journal, and a postcard or an oracle deck which you're not using. So that works too. If there is an oracle deck that you don't use anymore, you can actually use it for this purpose. So I have actually already pre-arranged the postcards the way I want them to be, and maybe in another video I can discuss why I've chosen this particular order. But right now I've selected this postcard, and as you can see on the back, it's talked about how this is the muscular system, posterior and anterior. And so what I want to do is, first off, I want to make sure that I record what this card is actually about, because I don't want to forget later on what a particular card is. I mean, these first few cards are all about the human body as a whole, and so I can make an educated guess about what these are. But then for the further along I go with these postcards, a lot of them have to do with organs, different cells, different viruses and bacteria. So those are things that, because I'm not someone who has a medical degree, so I don't have a medical degree, so I don't really know for certain what particular organs of the body are or particular cells look like. And so recording the name of what's there in the postcard will remind me, okay, this is what this postcard stands for. So another thing that this recording of the name helps me with is that it gives me a sense of, it pivots me towards the direction of my spiritual wisdom. So what I mean is, for example, this is the muscular system, and now when I'm thinking of the muscular system, I want to know, what can the muscular system teach me? What is the wisdom that the muscular system can teach me? And so the quote that I write for myself should be aligned to that. So I want to make sure that I place this card in such a way that I have sufficient space to write whatever it is that I want, and I want to keep the least amount of margin from the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take my glue stick and I'm just going to put the glue all the way on the back. You can even use, that liquid super glue that you get. I just don't have that handy. I have the glue stick handy, so I'm using this right now. I might get the super glue liquid in the future, but I find this to be more useful because the paper doesn't stick, but I found that the super glue does make the paper stick to each other, and I don't want that, because then my postcard might tear. So now that I've put on the glue everywhere, if you're doing this, make sure you get the corners right, because that's where the problem arises. So just paste it wherever you want on the page. I'm pasting it as low on the page as I can, because I want to give myself a sufficient space to write my journal quotation, and then just making sure that I tap and just press my card so that it can just sit in and get pasted properly. The elastic band comes in really handy here because it holds the journal together, and I'm just using the Anatomicum postcard box as a counterweight to put some pressure on the card so that it pastes properly. So I've been through a couple right now, and as you can see, there are plenty of cards left to do, and I'm excited to go ahead with it. But yeah, so I'll have some tough time thinking about what quotes I can write for all of these, because especially the Anatomicum postcards have been a challenge in terms of thinking, what kind of wisdom does my human body give me? And to me particularly, I've found that this particular exercise, although I've just started this just a little while ago, I found that this has helped me really reconnect with my body really well, and to really spend time thinking about the different parts of my body and thinking about how they help me, the scientific way as well, that is how they work and how they help me, plus also about how what messages they can give me, how they can help me lead a better life, not just in terms of my physical health but my emotional and mental health as well. So now let's just journal about what this makes us feel. So for me, since this is the muscular system and I'm talking about muscles, my research showed me that the muscular system is responsible for our movement and for the way our organs work, and it facilitates and supports the circulation and the health of our bones. So it is essential to our life. So the quote that I'm writing right now is this: I move to the rhythm of my spirit. I do not let stagnation overwhelm me. I know that life is not linear. I move forwards, backwards, sideways. I contract, I expand, I thrive. Just like my muscles, I keep moving, never giving up, and always working towards my highest good. So that's something that I came up with. That's the part of the code that I am actually writing right now. And to me, this really encapsulates what the muscles actually do and how they help us, physically speaking, how they help us. They contract, they expand, and through this contraction and expansion, they enable other organs of the body, other systems in the human body to function well. And if something happens, if you have a sprain in your muscles or a muscle tear, for example, it can really throw your entire body off balance, and it can really lead to stagnation. That is physical stagnation, because when you have a muscle injury, you really can't move much, and it prevents you from doing things that you enjoy. And because you can't do things that you enjoy, you go into this sort of an emotional rut, an emotional stagnation as well. And that can be just so limiting, so disempowering. And just thinking about this makes me feel like all the lost opportunities in the world, and just feel grief for that. And so this card reminds me of how my muscles, all of my muscles, although I don't know the names of every different muscle over here, I'm just taking the entire muscular system as a whole, how all of them work together to keep me moving. Now, I'm someone who runs a lot. That is, I do long distance running, I do swimming, I do hiking, and I do the occasional long distance cycling, and I find that my muscles are the ones that are keeping me moving, that keep me happy, that allow me to do what I love to do. For example, writing right now. The only reason I've been able to write in this journal and paste these postcards and do all of these is because of the way my muscles are working together, keeping me going. And so and how the muscles coming together and allowing me to write, allowing me to keep going ahead, is in a way, my muscular system is helping me reach my highest good. I hope that makes sense, because when I see these postcards, I don't want to overthink too much about writing the correct thing, writing the correct word, writing the most, pleasing word to society. For example, I want to write something that makes me feel good. I want to write something that makes sense to me. And to me, my muscular system is representative of always, keep moving no matter what hurdles you face in life, because we've got this. We have the smartness and the mindfulness to deal with whatever comes in our way. And yeah, we've got this. So as you can see, all of the quotes that I've written have something to do with the skeleton or the facial muscles or the muscular system. And I'm going to continue doing this with the other cards as well. And the book is large enough, so I think I can squeeze in all the cards in the Anatomicum deck here. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this particular video. This project is going to take some time because I've just finished only a couple of postcards. There are plenty left, so I'm going to have my hands full with this project. But if you want to see this project unfold, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and enable the notification button so that you don't miss out on any updates that I provide. I'm also planning on doing the same or similar kind of a project with my Botanicum and Animalium postcards as well. So if you're interested in seeing how I'm going to be turning that into an oracle guidebook for bibliomancy, then be sure to keep track of my channel. So if you stuck around this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Tales in Text.